something happened, extraordinary happened on the world stage yesterday. There was a major event at which the leading figure in the event said these words, which could apply to the Hurt Locker slide you just seen, which will apply to any of you if we're trying to reduce your medication burden, which is there's no numbers, there's no measurement trick, there's no RCTs that tell me what to do in this case. And what he was about to do was to supply tanks to Ukraine. This was Olaf Scholz. Now, I'm sure he thinks that way about tanks, and I'd imagine you guys would agree with him about tanks. I'm equally sure that Olaf Scholz doesn't think that way about drugs. And you might say, well, tank shells are one thing, an SSRI pill might look like a tank shell, but it's a lot smaller and can't do as much harm. Well, there's very little serotonin in your and my brain. It's in your blood, it's in your gut, it's in your skin, it's in your bones, it's in your genitals. If you're a man, these drugs will wipe out your sperm count. It's like a tank shell. The magic bullet myth that it just goes one place and fixes one thing is totally wrong. If you take an SSRI to your body, you are blitzing your entire body, and that's true of most drugs. If you come to me and I want to help you reduce your medication burden, you and I will have a problem, which is the public health system in Canada. And not just that, but Canadians generally. The public health system's view is that people, when they come to a doctor, want more drugs and more labels. If I want to help you reduce your medication burden, the only way to do it is to set up a clinic on my own, a private clinic where I let you know, and the few people who might want to reduce their medication burden can come to me. If I try and do it in the public health system, I'll be told that's not tolerable here. It used to be the privilege of wealth to get treatment in order to stay alive. It's now the privilege of wealth to get off treatment in order to stay alive. In Canada, we are now leading the world in medical assistance in dying. I have no problems with this. It's another service that people are being offered. I've got a bit of concern when it comes to young women in Belgium and Holland who get medical assistance in dying for what's called treatment-resistant depression, which didn't exist before we began putting teenagers and young women in particular on 10 psychotropic drugs at the same time. My problem, my moral problem, is the morality of a system that will give you any service you want, up to and including MAID, except the service of getting off the services that it offers you.